random houses, let's go.
This is Mizzy, controversial TikToker, or at least was one on the platform, before getting banned for trying to pass his content here off as pranks.
TikToker Mizzy decided to film himself walking into a stranger's house for his latest video.
And then he just steals the dog.
It's him appearing to tear up a book at a library, or him just asking random women if they want to die.
Yeah, so Mizzy here, real name Bakari Bronzogero, is an 18-year-old self-proclaimed menace that has gained notoriety over the past few months for not only those controversial videos that were just covered, but what he has been doing since gaining traction online. At first, people of course condemned the actions that were seen in the most controversial clip, being the house invasion video, with tweets coming up about it everywhere and videos being made about the subject.
I actually can't even fathom how someone could end up so hopelessly pathetic like Mizzy. You couldn't create a bigger loser in a laboratory. This man went into the character creator and had all of his stats set to literally 0.
Reactions would also come in from even controversial people themselves, like Tristan Tate when he had first said that the homeowners should be legally entitled to end them and that he would have no sympathy if that were to happen. So Mizzy here becomes public enemy number 1 to the internet, and he just enjoys seeing it all go down.
Get it, Lizzie. It's your boy Mizzy, and today we are going viral, lads. More viral than I've been in the past like 2-3 years. Like, I started social media since I was 8, been doing videos, been making bangers, been blowing up since I was young. But this right here, everywhere.
But with that type of notoriety, TikTok took notice of Mizzy and then banned him from the platform, with YouTube following suit as well. Along with that, he also ended up getting arrested as well, but only came out with a 2-year criminal behavior order that will prevent him from directly or indirectly posting social media content without the documented consent of the people featured in the content. And now, with all eyes on him, you already knew that people were going to try to get him on for interviews, and the first one that came out of these did not disappoint, as he came onto the Piers Morgan Uncensored show, and the two will have a debate on the ethics of what Mizzy had done, and ended up just having a rage of words with each other.
You're just no help in it. You just talk your own thing, you have your own set morals, and yeah, so that's you.
No, it's not about morality. I just
okay,
think,
cool.
I just
Whatever
think,
you say, I was still talking. You interrupt me again, Piers.
Okay, let me.
Piers Morgan, why'd you keep interrupting me?
Let me tell you, we're going to put both of ourselves out of this misery, and we'll just end it there, because
you should end it.
As I said at the start, you're just a complete moron.
And so are you.
This madness will gain the attention from the internet once again, as people continue to talk about Mizzy with some in a new light, like Tristan Tate here coming out with a tweet saying that Piers Morgan was totally right to call him out, but what now? Back to the streets of London, perhaps trying to get the clout he desires the only way he knows how? No, not if I can help it. And then going on to say, hate him or not, he has very real influence. And when Tristan tweeted that out, on the following day, it was then seen that Mizzy had gotten arrested again, with this video making the rounds on the internet now.
Come on, let's go. I'm just going to explain the allegation to you, which is that you've uploaded 2 TikTok videos, or 2 Twitter videos, on 25th of May.
Pierce will see the news and then quote tweet it with, as I said, an idiot. Tristan from that Pierce tweet will respond to it with a lengthy post saying in it that everybody has the capacity to learn and grow, and that him and Andrew were currently having harsh words with the criminal known as Mizzy. And after that, Mizzy will put out a video referencing his interactions with the Tate brothers.
I've been in talks with the Tate brothers. Tristan reached out to me. He said he wants to help me lead a better light for the young people, because I can be an advocate for so much different things. They want to support me, and I'm seeing it like it's all genuine.
Soon after that, Mizzy continued to stay in contact with the Tate brothers and even leaked the conversation that he had with them. From that point on, from their interactions, Mizzy has then been seen consistently doing the, what I guess a lot of people call the Andrew Tate hand pose, whenever he can. And with that, Mizzy has also taken his role of acting like this enlightened person that talks about this new initiative that he came up with called the We Outside movement, which on his website refers to it as a civil rights movement. A short description of what it is written on the site, and it references energy in the universe, the social divide of the world with the 1%, and of course, the Matrix. Now, in here too, he also puts out this statement that says that the Mizzy experiment is a social one, and he reflects that ideology when he mentions it in interviews and videos, often stating that the Mizzy character and the guy behind it, Bakari, are 2 different people going for different goals in their actions.
Mizzy, this online persona I created, is literally social proof that society is weak and that the public is manipulated by media and swayed away from the truth so easily.
Well, understand it, guys.
Mizzy and Bakari are two different people. Mizzy is a character that I put into perspective.
But along with Bakari being known as Mizzy now, he has also taken this new moniker called the TikTok Terror, which he appears to have gotten from when he went on the Piers Morgan show and they had that graphic over him with the nickname. But even with Bakari trying to differentiate himself from his online personas, he still continued to do his antics as Mizzy, which to this day is still going on. So from where we left off with his second time being arrested, he then after quote unquote hijacked the train where he was seen messing with the controls as passengers fled the area. Now different sources are saying different things, but from what it looks like, this train video with the non-consenting people appearing in it seems to have been the thing, or at least one of the things, that gave Mizzy 3 new charges, and also appears to be what had caused the second arrest from earlier. But then he said in a tweet that he got fined £238 and didn't get arrested for it. I'm not sure, but that one video did seem to be his second arrest in that time frame anyways. After that, a bunch of his older videos were then getting reposted online that were making it seem like Mizzy was still being a constant menace in the public. People would see these and think that they were recent and thus continue to give Mizzy an even worse reputation in the eyes of the online world. Throughout this time, Mizzy then posted another picture of him supposedly getting arrested in June. I'm not sure if he actually did get arrested here at this time, as the picture did seem a bit odd, and some were saying that it had already been taken before, and also it didn't help that on the following day, Mizzy was already back to posting videos of himself talking to his viewers. But from that, on the following week, Mizzy then posted a video of himself going into another random house, and as you would have guessed, people were mad once again. But with this situation, something was different about it, because on the following video that was posted on Twitter, Mizzy was there just chilling in what appeared to have been the same location with even the same dog. A video then came out and showed that Mizzy and his friend actually set the whole thing up, and it was to quote unquote scam the news.
We did not sneak into any random person's house. This was all staged. It was all my idea, just to get your attention, the mainstream attention of the news. All you ever do is promote negativity and violence, and I'm here to draw you out on it.
An arrest also seemed to have taken place, but Mizzy then went on to say that that was staged as well.
As you may have seen, I faked my most recent prank, the walking into random houses one. I also faked my arrest and got the internet to believe I got arrested for that video, even though I've been out planning and writing this the whole time.
But then from that, a couple of weeks later, Mizzy then apparently got arrested again, this time at the Wireless Music Festival in London. But with a new one being mentioned now, going back to the previous arrest of the staged house invasion video, an interesting thing to note here is that due to the charges from before, Mizzy basically can't really upload real prank videos anymore that involve other people without their written consent, unless if he actually wants to get a harsher punishment for them this time around. And under those circumstances, that leaves him with a few options. He's either going to have pranks be not as bad as the ones that he's done before and have written consent to post them online, or he's going to have them be staged for content. And with that in mind, I want you to take a look at this clip of his that recently went viral of him supposedly messing with a store cashier that, you guessed it, got the internet mad once again. But now that you're aware of Mizzy's restrictions, I think you'll be able to know some things in this video in regards to everyone's behavior around this supposed act of harassment.
Reality is an illusion, bro. Bro, hey, what's all of this for? What's all of that, bro? Yo, what's all of that, bro? What's my boss? Hey, yo, watch your shot, bro. It's an illusion, bro. It's an illusion. It's I got running. Hey, grab that. Take that, bro. Take that, bro. Hey, what? Outside.
So that clip goes around, gets people mad, and then Mizzy reveals that it was all fake, and then bragged about how he had fooled everybody, including people that originally made articles on the situation. Now, Mizzy wouldn't just leave it up to his videos and content to gain attention from the internet. He has gone on this entire press run of hopping onto mainstream media outlets and collabing with other media brands and personalities for interviews like No Jumper and Gideon and Sneeko. Most of the more hostile interviews will go the same. Mizzy's past actions and pranks will get brought up, get questioned as to why he would do them / get criticized for them. Mizzy will then go on his Enlightenment speeches, get questioned even more, and then it would end with a heated argument between the parties involved. Perhaps the most heated out of all of these ended up happening on the Talk TV UK channel, where one of the hosts just had enough of Mizzy during their interaction.
You stared at another guest again, and I'm going to personally remove you. I'm not taking the mic. You glared at her in a threatening fashion. You do that, I'll drag you out by the hair, and you can be as hard as you pretend you are. You apologise to her right now, or you're leaving.
You know I respect you, but I'm done here.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Get him out of here!
Security, get Get the security from downstairs and get rid of him. Get rid of him, for Christ's sake.
Do you know what? Get rid of him. He's angry.
That surprised face right there, now being Mizzy's profile picture on Twitter, went on to become one of his more infamous moments now, and he considered himself taking the W in that situation. Now, one thing to note here as well is that whenever Mizzy does get asked about his previous pranks, he does say that for the most part he did go back and make amends to the people that he had wrong, but that he chose to not show that part to social media.
I realized that at that moment, and that's why I went to apologize the next day after it all blew up out of proportion, and I felt like bad personally. When it happened, I took accountability for my actions, and I went there the next day and apologized to the woman off social media.
In real life, I was gonna take the dog anyway and give it back regardless.
But aside from that, the interviews that he has been having don't always end up going south. Mizzy did have good interactions with some like Def Noodles and No Jumper over here, where actually in this one, Mizzy laid out some of the other things that he plans on doing now that he has all this attention on him.
I need to start, there's bare stuff I need to do. I need to do music, the boxing, I need to start getting a podcast, I've got the studio prepared.
So let's get into one of the things that he said right there, boxing. Mizzy has multiple times expressed that he wants to get into the crossover boxing scene, with this being one of the first instances saying that he actually has a match ready to go for later this year.
Yes, hi! Listen, I got big things coming up. Piers Morgan interview happened today. It didn't go the way I wanted it to go, but I got a boxing match coming up in August.
Whether that's true or not, there hasn't been any more hints or announcements regarding Mizzy fighting. It just seems like wishful thinking at that moment. But as for what some had to say in the crossover boxing scene, many were not too fond of the idea, as this quote-quote announcement was immediately following the controversy of the House Invasion video. We had calls from Gio here saying that neither Misfits Boxing, Kingpin, or the Creator Clash, or anybody really should be giving him any attention. And then even had Wade and Keemstar coming in saying the same. Mams Taylor, aka KSI's manager, and one of the heads at Misfits Boxing, would also come out and state that Mizzy would definitely not be fighting under the Misfits brand. Mizzy though wouldn't take no for an answer here, as he continued to say in interviews that he will be involved in the boxing scene, even having a specific opponent in mind.
There's a couple of guys that I don't mind fighting. I want to fight Speed. Speed is a big one.
Speed? Why Speed, man?
Because we're just so similar. I love Speed. Like Speed is just an outgoing, bubbly guy. Yeah, I wouldn't mind fighting him still.
Now with that, a little bit of history between Mizzy and Speed had also been seen in the past when the Sidemen football charity match took place back in September of 2022. This was on minute 8 of the match when Mizzy ran up on the pitch and actually recorded an up-close goal from Nico Milana, and right after that had happened, Mizzy went on to go interact with his now new foe.
Oh, hey yo! Hey, come free me! Go! You're outside on the pitch. Speed! 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 You're creating security.
So with that intriguing matchup being set in Mizzy's eyes, he is very well aware of how big it could be as he continues to campaign for the fight. And his dream of fighting in the scene did get acknowledged by the main man himself, KSI, as he had this to say when going over his Reddit.
Jay, please, I beg you, don't let this kid box. I would say I don't support any of his actions. You know, I saw on Twitter recently that he apologized and he was actually sorry. And for me, I'm always happy to embrace people who make mistakes but learn from them at the same time. I don't think he'll be fighting on Misfits, let's be honest. It's good to see that Mizzy is taking accountability and improving himself.
But in the end, it'll be up to the other higher ups to have a match happen. And for it to be with Speed, well, that'll be up to Speed there as well. In the meantime, Mizzy will just have to continue to say that he's looking to get in the ring in this ever-growing space. But as that is one of the things that he wants to get into, there are other things on his mind as well. As he said before, one of those other things was music, and he has recently dropped a couple of tracks, one titled We Outside with skits, and the other being TikTok Terror.
Defense ask me why I'm so criminal, cause the way I move is cynical, the bars I spit are subliminal, and the money I make is statistical facts. TikTok terror, by my account come back. Hello world, you know we outside, not in the Matrix trap. Thought I went missing like Amelia, but I'm just trolling media. All I had to do is one stupid prank, now my face on Wikipedia.
So with those music videos taking place, he had also mentioned that an EP will be dropping soon, and as for what the public thinks of his venture into this art, the general consensus here is that pretty much everyone is just roasting it. Now, he did also mention getting a podcast together, but there have been no updates about that materializing, at least as of yet. What Mizzy more so does now, in addition to still being controversial on the internet with his tweets and videos, he he periodically goes live on his Twitch to his 3,000 plus followers. And that's pretty much where we're at with Mizzy now. Where he will go from here, only time will tell. In the meantime, we'll just take a look at this Mizzy tweet right here that says that everybody who goes on to make a video on Mizzy is a part of the Mizzy experiment. And I guess that now includes this one that you are watching. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you in another one.